So, you're live in streaming this. Let me ask you a question. How much struggle, or are you able to actually redo the game so I can have it live on Twitch? Like you know when you're just like streaming for a game where you also can hit record and it's also recording the camera from the SD card. Yeah, because I need the record of the game to do revision, but then I would have to download it from YouTube. So I'm trying to make a step instead of downloading from YouTube to get like the file from your do well. At least, okay, but at least for tonight, would I be able to get this game file? Okay. How can I get the file from YouTube? What is the easiest? Yeah. Josh knows about this. It's just like I brought my own device, but I would much rather take notes rather than just like record, take notes. It's a two-step process. If you're able, maybe to drop this on a Google Drive or something, I can give you my email address and you can send it to me. Alright, let's chat about it. I'll be around, but I'll be quiet. Looking around, just observing the rest.
You are looking live at the Kennedy Activity Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, as the Minnesota Fall Classic kicks off with a contest between both Minnesota teams as Minnesota Black takes on Minnesota Green. High above the handball court here at the Kennedy Activity Center, Jeff Disher with you for the first of many over the course of this weekend. Many surprises in store as well throughout. But a fun way to kick off the 2022 Minnesota Fall Classic as the two Minnesota programs, or the two Minnesota teams within the same program, let's be more accurate, get set to face off in the first of the pool play matches. And our only game this evening from here at Kennedy Activity Center. Waiting on the officials to get things ready for play. And teams getting in a few warm-up tosses as we get set to go from Kennedy Activity Center in Bloomington. We are underway with Black taking the opening possession. This goes to Ty Dill, and Dill works it around, gets it to Derrig. Derrig looking for a spot to shoot through the screen. Over far side, back to Dill at the pivot. Backhand pass, fancy move from Derrig as the ball is worked back to him. Derrig drops it over. Got it to Sam Erickson, who goes to Derrig. And Black with a 35-second possession here. Play at the wing. Cross court, Hederick with the interception for Green. As Green scrambles into the front court. Clausen works this one ahead. He gets it over to Paul Meisner, and Meisner works it cross court. Substad took that and gets it back on the give and go. Work back over. Back at the pivot, it'll go to Meisner. Meisner, cross court, Hederick among others. As Green looking for the opening goal of the match. Clausen back at the pivot. Quick shot by Meisner. Goes into the net. It is Green with the 1-0 lead. 23 and a quarter remaining in the opening half as Black will take this. It goes to Derrig. Derrig at the pivot. And he'll actually pivot back. Gets it to Dill. Has it stolen from him. And here comes Green with possession. Ball worked across the timeline. It gets to Clausen. Clausen goes to his pivot man, Paul Meisner. Meisner, cross court. Substad gets it back and goes down. Worked over by Storch to the far side. Loading and firing was Substad. He had it blocked. Green maintains possession. Hederick at the wing. Through the crease area, or what effectively would be the crease area, and out of play. Black with possession. 22:40 left to play in a 1-0 match to Green in the early going. Dill at the pivot. Goes to Derrig. Derrig down at the wing. Dill works through one, couldn't get through two before he had to drop it off. And before Derrig could get that shot away, the whistle goes. Clock continues to roll, 22 and a quarter remaining as Black gets possession and they score. Worked up ahead by Green on the ensuing possession. Dropped off by Clausen, quick shot blocked, and Black goes the other way. And right as I say that, ball out of play, it goes to Hedrick. Far side, he tried to lob one in up over the goaltender or goalkeeper and was unsuccessful. 1-1 our score. 21:40 to play in the game's opening half. Black with possession, quick shot bounces in on Wallinga, and an outlet feed from Wallinga to Hedrick, and a kick save made by the goalkeeper. Worked back ahead by Black. Derrick, far side, cross court, lob, and the goal is scored. 2-1 to Black as Green enters the offensive zone. Clausen down low, looking for a wing. Clausen got it back as Green looks to storm ahead. Substad got it back from Hedrick. Goes to Meisner. Meisner dropped off, and he got it to Clausen. Ball played at the wing. Quick shot, Meisner. Goes in. 2-2, 20 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the first half as Black takes possession. Wanker goes down low to the wing. Wanker got it back at the wing, pushed off. Whistle goes, halt to play. Black with possession. Wanker looking for a shot. Wallinga with the save. Green works this ahead. Bouncing ball low to the wing. And Green loses possession. Hedrick made the mistake. 20 minutes remaining in the game's opening half. Black with possession, 2-2 game. Dill got it back over to Wanker. Near wing. Wanker got it back. Dill loads and fires up over the cage. Green with the ensuing possession. Meisner controls and quarterbacks the offensive possession for Green. Meisner works this down low. Got it to Clausen. Clausen and Meisner switch. Meisner to Clausen. Clausen dropped it off. Quick shot bounces in. Green now with a 3-2 lead. Black with the ensuing possession, down a goal. Just over 6 minutes in. This goes to Nick Nelson. Nelson dropped that over to Ty Dill. Dill got it to Derrick for a quick shot that goes out of play. Black with possession on this end of the floor. Quick shot off the iron. Black with the possession. Black works this one on. And a quick shot by Dill goes in. And Black with the possession. 17 3/4 minutes to play in the first half. Nelson delivered that down low, tried to get it back, loose ball. Whistle and a foul off the ball. Black maintains possession. Cross-court pass delivered by Dill. And the attacker harassed. Leads to a halt to play. In a 4-3 game to Black. Save made Wallinga. We stay here The possession continues for Black. Loose ball. Dropped over. Dill had his shot blocked. Ball out of play. And Black will maintain possession with a corner throw. Dill back over to the top of the offense. Erickson got it back at the pivot. This works to Nelson. Quick shot, save Willinga, and we'll go the other way. Fast break to Hedrick, and he was harassed before he could get the shot away. As Black comes up the floor. 4-3 our score, 16 and a quarter remaining in the first half. And yeah, usually 1 into 4 doesn't go, as Green picks up the possession this way. Quick shot by Meisner into the net for a 5-3 lead. Worked ahead by Dill. Quick shot, save Willinga. Rebound, save Willinga. But a foul, I believe, went before the shot. And a yellow card shown on the play. Shot up over the net, and I believe a special guest has joined us from up high here at Kennedy, and you are, sir?
Joe Williams.
From Detroit.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
I hope, last time I checked. So it's good to be here in the great state of Minnesota. It's great to be here at the Minnesota Fall Classic, one of the top tournaments in North America. So excited to watch some great handball and to play a little bit as well this weekend.
You guys are playing early tomorrow, correct?
Bright and early.
Ooh, boy.
Can't wait.
Yours truly on the call for that one. As Green gets to come up floor and go back where they came from. So we told you about we mentioned it to folks about the surprises. You are one of many. At the end of the game tonight, we will have an interview with the player of the game as selected by those on the floor. And us. We can contribute to that as well. So we'll have an interview up high here at the end of the night with the player of the game, as it is now 6-3 in favor of, should be Black, as a save made there by Willinga. Will stay here, though. Black with an offensive possession, so a foul must have been called. Anderson works this ahead, gets it back in the nifty give and go. Wanker shoots one. No, he threw it far wing. Quick shot off the iron, and the iron unkind. Loose ball, stop to play. And Green scores, making it 7-3.
One of my favorite things about just the Minnesota club in general is their athleticism, and you can really see it on display with both teams here. It's a really fun, fast-paced, I'd say probably the most idyllic American-style handball that there is. And
the frenetic pace of play will only get faster. There's a shot there, no shot before the whistle. The play will only get frenetic more frenetic as the weekend goes on.
Which will be very interesting to see, especially down the stretch after a couple long games.
And especially with teams like West Point, who is one of the fastest teams in this tournament, and say Fargo-Moorhead, who plays a more slow, controlled game.
Absolutely. And between those clubs, as well as Cal Heat, Chicago, it's going to be a real. And Green scores a goal. I missed who shot that. It's going to be a great showcase of handball.
Black, speaking of showcasing, coming up the floor with Peterson and company doing the business. Actually, I'll check myself. Wanker doing the business for Black as he gets it back here right on cue. Anderson leading what if we were in a hockey rink would be quarterbacking the power play per se. Wanker got it to Anderson and gets it back. Wanker shoots wide. Save made by Walinga with his foot. 11 minutes and a half remaining in the game's opening half and the tournament's opening half. And at a lull in play here, Joe, I will ask you about how you got involved in your local club in Detroit as Green takes possession. Hederick got that back over, eventually getting it to Meisner. Meisner dropped that over and gets it to Clausen. Clausen had his pocket picked. Black comes the other way on the fast break. Quick shot, far side, blocked on the way through. Will stay here. Talk to us about about how you got involved with handball and how you got involved in Detroit.
Sure. Well, my story is typical of most Americans. I saw the sport, in the one time that it's on TV, which is during the Olympics in 2012. I thought it was the best sport in the world, and I was right. So I started playing, was on the junior national team for a few years, moved to Denmark, played with the club for about half a year, moved back and started the Detroit Handball Club. And a nice save, but it looks like it's going to be a 7-meter for Black.
Foul in the crease area. I'll add to your story real quick. I was actually watching the 2020 Olympic final last year, and I'm thinking, are there any local handball clubs that you know about? And so that's how I came in contact with Josh Hederick and Minnesota Team Handball and got to where we are now as Wanker dishes it off. Quick shot blocked on the way through,
block.
Loose, and it goes to Hederick. Hederick, cross-court pass, gets to Meisner, and he scores.
And when you speak of Josh Hederick, he's really one of the forefathers of the sport in this region in the country, if not the country itself. He's been around the block for a while now and has had some tremendous success as a player and as just a club manager, as you can see here with Minnesota Handball. What a save.
Great shot by Anderson. Save Walinga. And the ball out of play, but it goes to Green. As the fast break is on, goal scored by Trent Substad. Green goes up 10-3, 9 minutes and some change left in the piggy bank here in the first half. Black comes up, and I know what you're thinking at home. You're thinking, well, Dish, the clocks aren't synced. There's a good reason for that, as Black's Andy Anderson scores the goal there.
That's a great name.
Andy Anderson.
Name's so nice you got to say it twice.
8.5 minutes to play in the first half of play. Green comes up court, slowing down the offense. They can do that with a 6-goal lead.
Absolutely. It's important to control the pace, especially at this stage in the game. You don't want to give Black a little bit of momentum here when it's not warranted. Just dial it in, save yourself. It's going to be a long weekend of handball.
Meisner bear hug, but he got the ball to Hederick, who got it away, and it goes out of play, so we'll go the other way. Up court comes Black. It'll go to Derrick. Derrick, far side, loose ball. Green steals. And back the other way comes Peterson. Peterson got it back, but the stop to play just after the shot for a tug.
Handball is such a tough sport, especially for Americans, because you're not used to the contact, and then it's not totally intuitive to many American athletes, what's clean, what's not when you're playing defense.
And a penalty throw there leads to Green going up 11-4. As we're back underway on the right side of the court. Black with possession, down 7. Dill dropped it off, got it to Anderson. Dill quarterbacking if you will. Dill shoots one, blocked. No rebound, halt to play. Clock continues to move. Green with possession. Quick shot and a goal.
Almost grabbed a piece of it.
Black's goaltender, Grant. You'll like the name. Grant Wojciechowski. Who does that remind you of in the NBA?
Oh,
Adrian.
Yeah, that
Woj.
one. There we go.
Yep.
There we go. Well, that's awesome.
6 minutes 50 seconds left to play in the game's opening half as this goes to Dierig. Dierig dropped it over to Winker. Winker with a shot, save Wallinga. Fast break time, got it to Hederick. Hederick shoots and he scores.
Club president, tournament organizer, goal scorer. What more can you ask?
I mean, that's the Triple Crown, is it not?
That is.
Have you been there and done that?
No, can't say I have. Cannot say I have. Maybe one day.
Maybe it'll come this weekend.
Who knows?
Black with possession as this one is dropped off by Dierig. Dierig gets it over to Winker. Winker gets around one, but he's tugged, so the halt to play. Clock continues to move with 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the half. Black with a 9-goal mountain to climb. Winker shoots one, and it goes in as it bounces over Wallinga's outstretched paws. 13-5 now, under 6 minutes to play in the first half.
You know, one of the things that might not be so intuitive on defense, the relationship between the defender and the goalie and who's responsible for what side of the net, because oftentimes the defenders are responsible for blocking the far post, whereas the goalie is responsible for making saves on the interior post. So
what is I guess what would the difference be for someone who is who naturally is a hockey fan? Great save there, but a whistle, I believe, halted play. Green with possession. Speak about the differences between hockey and handball in that relationship between the defense and the goaltender.
Sure, absolutely. And I mean, powerful shot, but does not.
That hit the roof, I think.
Looked like it. Might have put a hole in the roof. Well, that's a great question. I grew up playing hockey. Don't know a whole lot about the those dynamics, but I will say the mentality of a goalie in handball should be a lot different than a hockey goalie, because you're getting scored on so often. You need to have quite a short memory. A great save there.
Save Wallinga.
A good save percentage would be in the 30 to 50%.
So think about it, instead of hockey, maybe think about it like a lacrosse, or like
oh, sure,
lacrosse, possibly?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a lot of similarities between handball and lacrosse. In fact, I think it's probably one of the sports that transitions the best for many American athletes. But you have to communicate well with your defense, and
Winker with the goal there.
Slipped that one in. That was a nice shot. You have to make sure that the defense is moving as a unit, just like in lacrosse. There's not quite the same slides as they might call it in lacrosse, but there still is some shifting going on defense. So overall, just being on the same page, thinking as one team is a key to both.
Peterson on the near wing as this goes to Meisner. Peterson drops it off and got it back over to Meisner. Meisner dropped that over, far side, quick shot, bounces up over the cage. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the first half.
So who are you most excited to watch this weekend?
I am most excited to see, if I'm being honest, I'm most excited to see West Point.
Oh.
They impressed me last year with their pace of play. And it doesn't involve necessarily getting the feet wet, as both Minnesota teams are doing here in the first half to get the rust out.
Sure.
Quick shot there by Winker, goes by the wayside. And Green on the fast break. Delivered back over by Peterson. And it goes in for an 8-goal lead for Green as Black takes possession. But I'm interested to see West Point and how they adjust with their fast pace of play to slower teams such as your Fargo Moorheads. And we can delve into that all weekend.
boy.
in terms of the dynamics, in terms of pace of play.
I hope Fargo Moorhead hears this before that game. It'll cause a little controversy.
Hey, I'm
Lovely fast break
I
there.
am simply observing as a goal scored by Green.
No, that's part of the fun. And I know exactly what you're saying, too. West Point, obviously highly trained. They have a new coach this season who's, I don't know if he'll be present, but Mark Ortega coming back from a stint at Volendam, a professional club in the Netherlands.
Okay.
So obviously he'll have some wisdom to impart on them. Nice move, but a save. West Point's obviously a very athletic team. Physical training, big part of that institution. Oh,
I don't think the referee was ready.
jumped the gun a bit there.
Yeah.
But I agree. That's going to be a fun game. It's also going to be interesting to see, too, if how West Point holds up without one of their star players, Will Considine, a national team player who graduated last year. I believe will be competing with New York Athletic Club this weekend.
So he will be here just with New York.
Wearing a different jersey.
Quick shot by Winker. Goes out of play. So Green will take the mantle as we have a buck and a dime left in the piggy bank in the first half. You'll have to give me your last name again, Joe. It's been fun working with you for about 2/3 the first half.
Handball.
Okay.
Joey Handball.
Jeff Disher, Joey Handball.
At Joey Handball. Instagram. Not on Twitter.
Facebook?
Facebook.com.
Okay.
YouTube.com.
Black with possession as that goes up and over to Wanker. Wanker dropped that off. Quick shot wide of the mark. I think that got tipped on the shot by Dill. Green works it ahead, ensuing possession. 30 seconds left in the game's opening half. Green with a 9-goal lead. They can afford to slow it down, says Paul Meisner. Meisner dropped that to Peterson. Peterson gets it back and plays pitch and catch with Renault. Loose in the middle of the court. Was it kept in? It was not.
Let's see if they can get a shot off here very quickly.
Final seconds of the half.
Oh, cheeky, come on.
As the shot went off, but the save made by Walenga. We'll let the clock expire on the graphic here, but we can tell you that it is 15-6 in favor of Minnesota Green through one half of play. Your thoughts on the first half?
I think it's a good opportunity for both teams to prepare for a long weekend of some pretty tough games. So far, obviously, Green's looking a lot more polished, but granted, they're the team with more experience and with something to sort of to gain this weekend. So
now how, knowing that Green has the vast majority of the experience, how would you reconcile that if you're Black?
That's a great question. If I'm them, I'm focusing on not making silly mistakes. So not dropping the ball. That's no matter how many years of handball you have, you can control that stuff. And the rest, just try to hang in there and remember that there's still several games to play this weekend. So don't wear yourself out too badly. Don't get hurt. That's always the part of the game when it comes to these long weekends. So I think both teams just need to come back with the same energy. Adjust. Maybe test out some things that they want to see this weekend against opponents, and just have a great game.
Now, if you're at your team hotel, such as your Fargos, your New York Athletic Clubs, your West Points, what are you thinking right now? Seeing the way that Minnesota Green is coming to the fore through one half of play, up 9.
I don't think there's a lot of surprises. The typical cast of characters is out there, and they're performing quite well, which is again. Not a surprise. Paul Meisner's performance at Nationals really put him on the national map. Yep, forgot that word. Obviously, Josh is a staple. Ellis as well. I don't know Ellis's last name, but he is number. He's on the team.
Morpha. 13. 13 in green.
There we go. He's like Shaq. You only know him by his first name. So obviously, they have some great players. I think it's going to come down to. Against some of the more conditioned teams like West Point, how few mistakes each team can make, right? Because for as athletic as West Point is, as experienced and technically sound as they are, it ultimately comes down to not making the mistakes like dropping the balls, having silly turnovers. all that good stuff.
And you spoke of Ellis being akin to Shaq. I don't know if you're a Formula One fan at all, but with Austin's Grand Prix coming up in the next couple of weeks, Shaq is actually performing a post-race concert after the award, or after the ceremony of the award, or for the awards.
Concert. He's a performer or a musician now?
As I don't know what the heck that entails, but apparently he has a performance after the race is over, and I believe after the awards, after the podium ceremony.
That's wild.
So that would be reason itself to tune into ESPN or however you would get your Formula One coverage.
Sure.
Free plug. You're welcome.
Sure.
But with Joey Handball, Jeff Disher here, high atop the Kennedy Activity Center, I did not do like Steve Miller or Seal today and fly like an eagle in here. But
Not yet.
Not yet.
Still plenty of time.
There is still plenty of time in the weekend. But with both teams getting some much-needed fluid, if you could put yourself in the position of a player on either of these teams, maybe earlier in your career, how would your style meld in with what you've seen from both of these teams so far?
That's a great question. So as a goalie, that's always it comes down to, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of the communication, a lot of the rapport you have with your defense, and quite frankly, the scouting report you might have on your opponent. So, for example, I would almost prefer to play on black, playing against more experienced players, because if you can tell that the player knows where he wants to shoot, it makes it easier to anticipate that and react accordingly. Whereas with some newer players, the mechanics of how they attack and how they throw, a little sloppier, a little more unpredictable, which, oftentimes doesn't work, but on occasion they sneak a goal in, and it's quite frustrating as a goalie. So looks like we are getting ready to restart the action here, and I see that there's 15 folks viewing from home. I'd love to see some action in the chat here. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're supporting.
And you know what? I'll add to that. If you have questions for either of us, Jeff Disher here, Joey Handball, I'll even do this. If you have questions and you're on Twitter, you can tweet at me at @dish_in the VOX, or at Joey Handball on Instagram, Facebook as well, if you want to contribute to the night's broadcast.
Or on Twitter at official_TAHC. That is how you can reach me on the Twitter sphere.
Green will have the opening throw of the game's second half. Waiting for a whistle. Here we go. And there is about a 3-second or so delay between the game clock that you see on your screen and the game clock in the building. Latency, a thing in 2022. Brought ahead by Peterson for Green, who are up 9 as we start the second half.
A strong lead, but not an insurmountable lead.
Not by any stretch of the imagination. Peterson throws that cross court. Eventually gets it to Morfaw. Morfaw with a shot that goes wide of the mark. And so if you're black, how do you respond to that, seeing as the one named individual misfired?
That's definitely a good start to the half. Love to see the goalie make a big save, and I think the key here is not going to is going to be to not force a mistake here and make this possession count.
Brought ahead by Dill. Dill dropped that off. 1 into 2 doesn't go, so the pass back to Dill. This goes over to Dierig. Dierig ran into 3, and a bear hug halts play with 23 3/4 remaining. There's a quick shot there. Was everybody ready?
Doesn't look like
Not
it.
so much. So Black maintains possession instead of a 7-meter throw. Ball far corner. Quick shot. Shallow angle would not go for Black. As a fast break leads to a goal. And it is now 16-6.
So I think the key for Black to remember here is you cannot and will not score all 10 goals in one possession,
No.
right? So you have to make each possession, each point on that possession count. And you can't let a 2-point swing like that occur where you're not scoring and the other team scores.
Ball in the near corner, back to the near wing. Bear hug, halts play for the shot. Will stay here as Dill gets it back into play.
So we've got a great officiating crew here tonight. It's,
Talk about them a little bit.
Chris Kazaban, a student at James Madison University, as that shot goes over, and Josh Forstoffel, who's one of the founders of the Ohio State Handball Club, as well as the Detroit Handball Club. Quite frankly, he was one of our first players and officiates quite a few games up in the state of Michigan. So got to know Josh quite well. He's a great person, great referee. Chris is also a great person, great referee, and the two together, I think they are hoping to form sort of an official refereeing pair. So they're sharpening their skills this weekend, just like the players are.
Dill brings this one ahead. Speaking of sharpening skills, he'll drop that off to Derrick. Derrick throws that over cross wing. How did that go?
That's a great shot.
16-7. Green brings this ahead. As we swap camera angles, this goes to Peterson. Peterson throws that bouncing ball and gets it back. Nifty give and go maneuver as this goes to Ellis Morfa. Morfa to Peterson. Peterson dropped over to the fake to Storch. Morfa with a shot, kick save made. Morfa claiming he was harmed, and will stay here. So instead of a hoop and a harm, Morfa got harmed. His team keeps the ball.
And that's one of the interesting parts of the sport of handball is sort of the gamesmanship around the defensive fouls. You know, you want your team to have a stop foul like that because it breaks up the momentum, but you don't want them to get a yellow card or definitely not a red card. So
now on the change of possession, you would have had an opportunity to go plus. I think the math would be a 2-goal swing, not allowing a goal and scoring yourself for Black, but they couldn't get the job done there. Dropped over to Morfa, who gets it to Peterson. Peterson dribbles, dropped off. Morfa, near side, dropped it to the far corner, and a quick shot is saved by Black goaltender Grant Wojciechowski. No comparison to Adrian for the worldwide leader. I'm sure if he heard that, he'd appreciate that. Dill with a shot, whistle, halts play. And I believe
looked like a 2-minute. It looks like maybe that was a mistake. Oh,
so an inadvertent whistle?
Nope, that was in fact a 2-minute.
Okay.
So I missed who got the foul, but certainly sounded bad. So I think good call by the referees to take charge there. And
Derrick with a shot. I believe it went wide.
that looked like a pass, and that's the exact thing we're talking about. Black should not be doing if they want to keep this game relatively close
and manageable, because Green could go on a I forget the term I'm looking for, but a 2-point. It could be a 2-point swing or a 2-goal swing in Green's direction.
There you go. And what do you know? Right there.
Yep. 10-goal game. 19:21 to go in the second half.
And I think it's going to be important too for purposes of goal differential. Oh, and there we go.
Nifty shot on the far side.
Let's give this guy some credit. What's 21's name?
21 Black is Cesar Portillo.
All right. Caesar. Hail Caesar. 2 goals in a row. Keeping them alive.
Maybe Sunday we'll be saying that the Kennedy Activity Center is Caesar's Palace.
Oh, there you go. We can get a little sponsorship action on it. That would be delightful.
We kid because we care as Peterson harassed. Quick shot. I believe the goal was scored. It was, by the looks of it. So
Stefan Storch scorches it.
Storch from the pivot. Black misfired on the pass, and the pass intended for Connor Dierig as Green comes back up floor. Storch dropped that off, got it to Peterson, and Storch is quarterbacking the power play, if you will. Ellis gets it back. Little game of pitch and catch there for Morfaw and Storch. Storch, Morfaw. Morfaw around 1. Gets the shot away and he scores. 19-8. As Black brings this up floor. It goes to Dill. Dill dropped that off, got it to Wanker. Wanker, Dill. Dill dropped that off to Dierig. Dierig harassed. Gets it to Wanker. Wanker, nifty 2-point takedown in a wrestling circle, but it brings a halt to play here. Black with possession. And we resume play. Dill dropped that over far wing. Quick shot short side off the wrong side of the iron, and the iron unkind. Can't be having many of those here down the stretch if you're Black and looking to get back in it down 11.
No siree, and I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on Portillo over in the right wing to try to dig them out from that position.
Short side, Dierig waiting, fires, no goal. Whistle came as the ball was in the air. Fast break for Green. In retaliation, leads to a whistle as Storch was harmed. Storch looking for where the whistle was, but Green keeps possession. Dierig, check that. Peterson, whistle, and a halt to play with 16:20 to go.
So that's going to be a 2-minute penalty.
Will there be a 7-meter throw to go with it too?
Looks
like not.
Looks like it won't be. But in handball, if a player is in front of you, you are allowed to sort of wrap them up, give them a big bear hug, and that would be a stop foul. So
this looks like a 7-meter throw.
Looks like they decided it's a 7-meter. So that's a good thing. But once a player gets by you, you really should not be touching them at all.
That was Peterson with the goal. 16 minutes.
And in particular, if you're grabbing the shoulder or touching the arm as the player's shooting, that's a big no-no in handball. So that's going to get you a foul at least, if not a card.
And the officials will remember these things because they have the cards at their disposal too.
Most certainly. And one of the beautiful things about handball and one of the tricky things is the officiating is as much art as it is science. As Ellis blast that shot. So the officials have a lot of discretion when it comes to what's a foul, what's a card, what's a 2 minute. So it's important to maintain your composure with the officials, and it doesn't hurt to have them like you a little bit as well.
Yeah, don't get on their bad side because they will remember things. I'm a former soccer official, hockey goaltender, and I didn't skate when I played hockey. We can get into that more this weekend, but former soccer official, and I can remember numerous times where I'd have younger kids trying to win over my thought processes with regards to what is a foul, what is not. Wanker, 1 into 2 doesn't go. I don't think that counted. I think
No, it definitely did not count.
Black maintains possession. Dill dropped that over, and did he get it back? He did. Dill, whistle, under a football quarter remaining in duration here in the second half. As a shot by Winker goes by the wayside, he is wrapped up. Leads to a whistle. Clock continues to roll. 14-19 left in proceedings with Black on the downward end, if you will. 21-8. Green brings this up, and a missed assignment by Black defensively there brings the difference to 14. Was that just Black going to sleep as a goal scored? Was the second to last possession there Black going to sleep?
Yeah, it looked like they were a little bit confused, maybe a little bit discombobulated as well. So at least they answered. Stuck one in there, number 22. Let's give him some love.
It was Dill for Black.
Nice. Good
Ty
job,
Dill.
Dill. Ty Dill. Nice.
Storch, far side. Storch got it back. Morfa up and over the cage. I think that was labeled up high if the goaltender had not touched it as well.
I think so too. But we'll give him a save. As a goalie, you know.
You know what?
Got to pad the sheet anytime you can.
Exactly. Black with possession. 1 into 2 doesn't go. That leads to a whistle. And a halt to play. Actually, a halt to play. Clock continues to move. 12:48 to go, second half. Whistle.
I tell you what, handball's an awesome sport. You know, you got people focused on the running, the jumping, the throwing, but really the physicality is what gets my juices flowing when I watch handball. You know, you hear a lot of smacks, a lot of ugh when you're out watching a handball game. So it's something you don't really see in basketball, and you see it in soccer, but it's a little bit inauthentic there. So this is it's such a cool sport.
Storch from Morfa, bodies fly. Storch got the bad end of that as he goes to the floor. 7-meter throw upcoming, or not? No. Green will maintain possession. You could argue that is a 7-meter throw there for Storch. However,
didn't look like a strong enough goal-scoring opportunity to me, but hey, I mean, the case can be made. Like we said, it's an art form. Just like that shot. That shot was beautiful.
23-9, 11 3/4 minutes remaining in the second half.
So, Dish, I got to ask, whose streaming setup is this? If folks at home can't see this, this is looks like an ESPN broadcast.
We will say that as I halt the clock here with 11:37 to go in the second half, Josh Walinga and yours truly have some pull around here.
No kidding. Doesn't surprise me one bit.
Have to credit a fellow goalkeeper. I was a goaltender. He is a goalkeeper for the purposes of what I'm about to say here. But you have to credit the keepers with coming up with a streaming setup that is, for one, working a heck of a lot more smoothly than year one. But year one is for we'll say informational purposes and what we can improve for year two. So you're seeing an improvement on your screen. You're going to hear an improvement with a player of the game interview after the game is over. Joey and I will interview the player of the game from the winning team.
And yeah, it'll be a great time. We got 3 monitors going right now up here in the press box. So that's certainly a lot more than just one iPad, which some organizations think is sufficient for streaming handball matches. Not going to name any names, but
good.
Yeah. So
let's not. We attempted to replicate the USA National Championship setup from, I believe it was 2015 or 16.
Okay.
I believe it was at North Carolina.
That was the pre-iPad era.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice
cheeky
pass.
Tic-tac-toe.
Aaron Japs with the goal.
And he hustles right back. Gotta love that.
I love that. Yes.
Absolutely.
Green brings this ahead on the ricochet. Morfa dropped that to Clausen. Dribble drive by Storch goes in. 24-10, 11 minutes left to play. As Black with possession. And
Something's going on. A little jibber jabbering between the players.
they finally get everything figured out. Black with possession. And a shot attempted by Dierig goes by the wayside. Dill with a shot up and over the cage it goes, so we'll go the other way. 10 and a dime remaining in the second half. Green looking to put their foot or keep their foot down as a quick shot there by Clausen goes into the net. It is now 25-10. And the Green Giants,
The Green Machine.
the Green Machine, looking to turn out the lights, so to speak. 25-10, under 10 minutes to play, and a shot whiffed on.
May have been a 7-meter, but that's just my uneducated opinion. Referees are just letting the fellas play this evening, which is all right, considering these two teams are,
Yeah,
you know,
they play the same way.
absolutely.
So as an official, and this is just one opinion, just let the guys play. Great kick
Absolutely.
save.
We got a goalkeeper change on the black side.
Interesting. If you're able to grab a number, I've got a logo right in my blind spot
Oh, it is number 16.
for Black. For Black, it would be Wojciechowski.
Oh, okay. It doesn't look like he's wearing a. Oh, I'm sorry. For the green team. My
Aha,
bad.
then it would be Julian Renault.
Yeah,
I
there we
gotcha.
go. Haven't had my coffee this evening here, so
Well, brought back ahead by Green with a 15-goal lead, 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the contest. Morfa goes in, dribble drive, wouldn't go, halt to play.
cup check.
Not the last of those, I have a feeling. Quick shot, short side. Did it go? It did. So it's now 26-10, and that got stuck in the top of the net.
Right where Mom hides the cookies.
Off the bounce.
Off the bounce. There you go.
Till gets it back. And now Black with possession. Deering shoots one. Score.
Nice shot.
26-11.
Renaud seems to be on loan from HC Toronto, which is the U.S. Division II national champions, ironically enough. Which is why I was a little bit confused when I saw him out there, because I was like, hey, is that Julian? But yes, it is, and he must be visiting the Windy Cities this weekend for some handball, which is awesome to see.
The Windy City is Chicago. These would be the Twin Cities.
City by the Bay. Minneapolis, right?
City by the Bay is San Francisco.
Oh, gee whiz. I'm striking out here. I was never good at geometry, Dish, so. We like to have fun here, folks.
Tony Bennett with me up high. Jeff Disher here. Joey Handball as well. 6:55 to
Nice
go as a
shot.
whistle goes. And actually a goal scored there, 26-12.
Number 9. With, at this stage, probably the nicest haircut of the tournament.
So far. Shot there. Morfa with a goal, 27-12. Morfa's got the nicest stroke of the tournament so far. Granted, West Point would have a bone to pick with me if I said that officially. Tomorrow,
Sure.
Dierig gets it back here. Dierig can't go into two. So he passes it off, got it to Nolan Lease, and the shot goes by the wayside.
Dangerous play, number 11.
Whistle went before the shot, I believe.
Love the hustle, but got to be careful. Just can't grab anybody once they're past you.
Black with possession. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to play second half. We'll have an interview with the player of the game upcoming.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Who do I think it's going to be? I think Ellis Morfa would be in the conversation.
I think he's made his case.
Goal scored there, 29-12 now. I would think it would be Morfa. I could see both of the I could see either goaltender too.
I agree.
So I think that will be relayed
Absolutely.
to us momentarily as a pass inside. Wanker did not go.
Arnaud with the save. And a timeout called. Looks like by Green. I think they probably want to test some things out here before the close of the game. Finalize their plays, make some last-minute adjustments before they start playing with some live rounds tomorrow.
Green will take on Chicago Inter
That would be a tough game.
tomorrow at 12:30. Black's next game is against New York Athletic Club at right after the game with Green. Our first game tomorrow, Josh Hedrick will be up high as West Point and Milwaukee do battle.
Wonderful. That will be quite the showdown, and you're going to keep an eye on that Milwaukee goalkeeper. I hear he's quite the sight to see, as this will be his first game playing in almost 3 years. So a little baptism by fire there, which will be great.
4:57 to go in the contest. Green, barring a storm of epic proportions, Green will go to 1-0 in pool play, with Black going to 0-1 as Green brings it across the timeline. Substead. Meisner goes over cross court to Clausen. Clausen, Meisner. Meisner, Substead. Meisner, Clausen. Far wing, I believe that's Hedrick.
Nice
Kick save made
and
by Wojciechowski.
Let's see if they can get a couple here in the waning minutes of the match. Oh,
Great shot, great save. And it is 30-12 as Black brings this ahead.
nice
A
goal.
really quick shot by Derrick goes in the net.
Nice goal, nice stash.
3:50 to go, 30-13 now, as Green brings this ahead. Substad. Substad goes to Meisner. I would say top dog here for Green in my mind as that pass evades Hedrick. Would be Morfa.
Sure.
However, Black with possession and 3:20 left to go in proceedings. Drop down low, Derrick. Derrick to the far wing. Whistle, halt the play. Three minutes and counting as Black maintains possession. Down 17. And we're now in the, as that shot goes high and wide. Whistle, halt to play here with 2:51. Now it's about preserving goal differential.
Most certainly. In fact, that should be on the minds of both teams, as that certainly came into play this past championship with Detroit and a little team called Minnesota. So definitely important to never turn off the gas in these tournaments.
Clock never started. We have 2:47 left to play. This is why you keep the time on the floor. I wonder if the...
Looks like they're going to restart the entire kit and caboodle there. That was a dry run. Dry run as
Okay.
play will restart.
Okay.
You know what? It's all good, baby. We're just out here having fun.
It is. Black with possession. Clock restarts.
Oh!
And the pass intended for Dierig as Black maintains possession. Dierig, drop that off. Got it to Anderson. Anderson loses possession, and he goes to his knees, gets the shot away, and scores. 2.5 minutes to play in the contest. Minnesota Green cruising. Meisner. How does Black get ready for their matchup with Nyack tomorrow?
Say a few Hail Marys and have a couple drinks tonight, a couple pops, as we call them in the Midwest. Because Nyack is one of the top clubs in North America, and I think they have a lot to prove here this season, so they're going to come out swinging, especially this first game. So it's going to be a test for Black, but sure will be a great experience.
Minute and 3/4 remaining in the contest as Black controls this, down 17. And a great shot.
Waltzed a little too far into the 6 meter.
And it's 31-13 as we go up floor. Now 32-13 is the goal scored by Green. And how can, I guess to finish the question properly, what has Green done right to get them ready for their first matchup tomorrow?
Green will be playing.
They play Chicago.
That will be a great match. So I think they have an advantage having this game under their belt tonight. Nice shot.
And a great goal.
Great shot. That was number 6, who is
Anderson for Black.
Anderson.
Andy
Nice
Anderson,
shot.
the back.
Andy Anderson. Can't forget Andy Anderson.
So nice you have to say it twice.
There you go. The man, the myth, the legend. So, yeah, Chicago's a great team, very experienced, been playing together for a long time.
Great kick save there.
Great save. So is Minnesota. So I think that will be a very good one to watch.
Shot far or wide on the far side.
If Minnesota can minimize their mistakes, can control the pace of the game, they can absolutely win. Of course, Chicago, they just have some serious firepower at every position, but it's going to be a matter of if they can show up and play cohesively.
Ball out of play. It'll go the other way, but time will expire and that'll do it. The Minnesota Green Men win, or is it?
I think we've got a next point win situation here. 7 meter shot.
Okay.
Or 9 meter shot.
So we have an extended sequence.
All right.
Or actually, the pace of play won't give me time to ask that question.
So if one of the Black players gets hit in the face, it's an automatic red card. So I want to avoid that. Of course, I don't think this goal is gonna make or break anything. So
no,
probably just want to roll this one, and we can all go home tonight.
Typically speaking, a red would be a la a game misconduct, and you're out the next game.
That would. I don't know about the out the next game part, but yeah, you're kicked out.
But
you're kicked out
of
the
game.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ejection.
Early shower.
Yeah, there you go. Do not want that.
No.
All right, there we go.
And a nifty bit of sportsmanship there as we go final with Game 1 of the Minnesota Fall Classic. by a count of 32-14. We will hang here, and we are waiting for a potential player of the game after the teams shake hands. Let's see. What they decide, or let's see what I believe they decide on. As Green defeats Black 32-14 in the first game of the Minnesota Fall Classic. And we'll actually, you know what? We'll pull an audible here as the final is 32-14, Minnesota Green over Minnesota Black. We'll have more surprises in store tomorrow, but before I let you go, Joey, your thoughts on what you're set to see or what you're looking forward to seeing from the rest of the tournament?
Absolutely amazing tournament coming up here. Some really good matches. You're going to see really the top talent in the United States coming out to play, which is going to be quite exciting. First time these teams are going to have a crack at each other, so they're going to definitely give it all they have, and I think there will be some surprises this weekend, so I'm really looking forward to it. If you want updates on social media as far as scores, everything having to do with the tournament this weekend, follow at official_TAHC on Instagram or Twitter. We'll be sharing scores, graphics, all that good stuff, doing some interviews and what have you, so be sure to do that. Otherwise, Dish, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
And as we talked about pace of play and the differences in pace of play for each team, I mentioned picking teams out of a hat, the differences between your Fargo-Moorheads and your West Points. I'm interested to see what some of these outstate teams have done in the year since we were last here at Kennedy Activity Center. And I do know this, you, sir, will be back with yours truly at 11:15 tomorrow to see the aforementioned Fargo-Moorhead Wolves take on Cal Heat.
I cannot wait.
So
that will be a battle of the Division II runners-up and the obviously first division national champions. So
well, I think we can leave it at that. So for Joey Handball, Jeff Disher saying so long for now from the Kennedy Activity Center, where it is Minnesota Green with a 32-14 victory. And so long until tomorrow morning, everyone.